I'm on a newer free-to-play account. We're about 30 days in. I wasn't planning on doing a third 6-star champion, but then I read a comment. Hello, my name is Fail. Just ignore the background scenario that's going on right now in my game. I'm laughing my butt off because this is stage 20 of the Arcane Keep, which I have to do right now for my Arbiter mission, so do not judge me. Also, I freaking need the potions because it's a new free-to-play account. We always need potions. We're always out. We always constantly need them. I'm laughing because the whole team keeps on getting wiped and Uugo just keeps on bringing them right back, and I just thought that was funny. In one of my recent previous videos, I had said that I planned on just doing a few more 5-star champions on this new account. Currently, we have 2 6-stars, 2 60s. We've got Kale and we have Uugo. And I had said that I was thinking about just upgrading more champions to 5 stars to like build out and level out more teams for like faction wars and dungeons and all that stuff. And then someone commented that it actually probably would be better, and they recommended that I 6-star somebody instead of doing a bunch of 5 stars. And I thought about it. Now's the perfect time to click the link in the description below to get a free Uugo as well as 2 more insane epics as you level up. Here's how to do it. Log out of Play and Play on PC and uninstall. Click the link in the description and register with a brand new email. Launch raid and complete the tutorial. Go to your inbox and claim your first champ. Don't miss out on your chance to get Uugo right after signing up, as well as Tagoar at level 10 and Rector Drath at level 20. Click the link right now. And I was like, okay, no, it makes sense to do that. Both strategies can be sound depending on who you have, what roster you have, what champions you need for different teams. And then it solidified that I need to do this, and that they were absolutely right, because one of my upcoming Arbiter missions is to get a 3rd rank 6 champion. We're going to pretend that this commenter on a previous video saved my life. Okay, that's basically what this came down to. Not to be dramatic. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through and we're going to 6-star our next champion. So in this video, we're going to talk about who we're going to do next. And I've got quite a few options that I really want to choose from. I've had a hard time figuring it out, but I think we narrowed it down to who we're going to do. And we're also going to talk about resources. I'm a big like numbers girl, and I like to talk about data and analytics and all of that fun stuff. Most people find it boring, but it's fine. Try to make it exciting. And we're going to figure out how many different food champs, not just how many, because that tons of videos about that, but we're going to talk about resources and how much chickens can freaking save you. We'll talk about how much XP you'll be saving, how many brews you could be saving, yada yada and so forth. Okay, let's get right into this. I have quite a bit of food champions, but I also have chickens. And what I wanted to highlight in this video, because there's tons of videos about how many food champions do you have to build up in order to build out a 6-star champion, but one unique thing that I really wanted to highlight here is how many resources can you save with chickens. And it's actually a lot. Like, it's actually pretty crazy how many resources you can save. So let's get into that. I attempted to create a whole spreadsheet because I like spreadsheets. And I'm going to be honest with you, after an hour in of trying to build it out, it's a little more complicated than you would think it would be, or at least I initially thought it would be. But here's just a basic visual to kind of give you an idea. Okay, this doesn't go crazy in depth as much as I wanted to, but this will be a fun project to do later on, because I would love to know the final stats, final numbers of how many resources you're saving with just freaking chickens. Okay, so let me explain this, what's on the screen. And then I'm going to leave it up while I go through and I'll visually show you within the game as well. So if you want a level 20 champion, okay, it takes 93,750. You can see that green number right here. That's how many brews. I put enough brews in to max her out. Okay, 93,000 XP. Okay, and we can go down the line. We can do 3-star champion, max that out, 206,250. Okay, so you see those numbers there with XP needed. Next, you see how many brews are needed. And this will come in a second here. Let's talk about how much energy this equates to. All right, so where most people run through their campaign to farm up their food champions is generally Brutal campaign, stage 12-3. This is in Brimstone. So let's say you have a campaign farmer, so a solo farmer who farms out all these other guys. You might not have seen that before. It says level up, but it gives you 8,652 XP. Caveat here that I want to know is I do have an XP boost going on. If you do not have an XP boost going on, it will be less. But for, video sake, we're going to pretend that everyone has an XP boost, because let's be honest, you can farm them all over the place, and if you don't have one, you need to freaking get one. All right, so every single campaign, every time you run it, each individual champion within, whoever you're feeding gets 8,652 XP. We already calculated how much XP is needed, right? That is this number right here to level up 20, 30, 40. Okay, ignore the brew section for a second. The 12-3 runs is for that specific ranked champion. So let's say level 20. To get to level 20, you need 93,000 XP. And if every single run per champion gives you 8,652 XP, that means you need to do 11 runs. Not to mention, that's not even including if you do super raids. We're just talking about normal raids. So you can imagine that's not too bad, right? It's basically like 5 runs. 5 runs through and you've got a level 20 champion. Then it's 6 runs-ish. Okay, so if you're doing 11 runs, that's 87 energy that you're using to get a level 20 champion for 2-star champ. I know the math ain't math, and because you're going, oh, okay, well, if it's 11 runs, each run is 8 energy, then why is it 87 instead of 88? The reason why it's not like an even number, obviously, when you're running through campaign, you're actually overdoing it a little bit. So if you were to run the campaign, let's say 10 times, you don't actually need that 11th run because you're actually going to get more XP than what is needed to top off that 19 to 20 level, if that makes sense. Usually what I do is I'll run campaign and farm up food champs till they're at 19, and then I'll go and put them in the sparring pit so that I can top them off. Or sometimes if I'm in a hurry or on my main account, not a free-to-play account, I'll just use a bunch of 1-star champions because they come like easy peasy, so I'll just fill it up. But again, I'm just trying to explain. I get that the math looks a little weird like right in front of your eyes. The reason why it's a little off here too is because I did this in a spreadsheet and I actually did like formulas and had it calculated, so there's decimals involved in everything. So just keep that in mind. Obviously it's 88 because you do 11 runs and each one is 8 energy, which means this should be 88. That's why it says 87. It's just because it's formula, and given the amount of XP, you're actually using a little bit more XP than what's needed when you're doing normal runs in campaign. The amount of XP calculated here is based off of brews that are being used, not necessarily the campaign runs, so that's why it's just a little bit off, but it's just 1 energy point. I think you guys can get the picture. Same with 3-star champions. In order to level them all the way up, you would need 206,250 X is what's needed to get a 3-star champion to level 30 so that you can then rank them up to a 4-star. The amount of runs again, it's calculated within a spreadsheet, so it's a little bit off. Not to mention, this is runs versus XP brews, which is a little bit different. You're getting the point. We're just giving a basic gist of the idea. If you were to run this guy into a campaign to get him all the way to 3 stars, instead of using XP brews, you'd have to run it 24 times-ish, which would mean 191-ish energy. Okay, 4-star champions. This isn't even, I don't even have 5 stars on here, but we're trying to just give an idea. 4-star champions, in order to brew them all the way up, you need 24 brews to get to 450 total XP to level them up. This also means 52 runs in campaign, which is 416 energy. This does start to get a little bit more complicated though than this basic sheet that I have up here, because you're not just farming 1 champion. If you have a solo farmer for campaign, you're actually farming 3. So we take these numbers, obviously, if you're trying to get a 3-star champion, I know these are 2 stars, but let's pretend they're all 3 stars. If you're trying to get 3 level 3-star champions, you, instead of doing 24 runs, you actually only have to do 8. And energy, you only have to spend 64. And that'll give you 3 3-star champions. That'll get you to where you need to be to max them out so that you can then go and rank them up. So let's say this was an epic. I pulled an epic that I don't want to keep. I'm going to use them as food. It's not an epic, pretend it's an epic. I have an epic. They come as 4 stars right off the bat. You don't have to level up any 3 stars or 2 stars to get that 4-star champion. You just get it for free because you got an epic champion that is food worthy. Congratulations. In order to get this champion to level 5 so that we can then move on to get those 5 stars to feed them into the 6-star, you have to get 4 more 4 stars, 4 more of them. You can see how the math in creating this as like a visual spreadsheet to make it like simple to understand is crazy and insane. But instead of having to run through and use up all of that freaking energy and use up all of those runs or XP brews, mind you, or XP brews, depending on which, route you're taking here, think about what 1 4-star chicken is going to save. Hopefully I explained this as easily as possible. Again, I wanted a visual aid to help with this, but it's actually pretty crazy. 1 4-star chicken saves you the effort of having to level up 4 3-stars champions, plus all of the food that you need to feed them in order to get them to 4 stars, right? And 3-star chickens are also helpful, but I just wanted to use that 4-star to show just how big of a deal this is, which goes to show 5-star chickens are even more helpful, but I don't have any of those, so we're just gonna ignore that part. Chickens are insanely helpful. Early game, and this is an early game count. This is a free-to-play account. Early game, we are 34 days in, almost 35. I really want that shard right there. Actually, I want that one. We're a little over a month into this account. Chickens are insane. The amount of energy that I'm going to be saving, the amount of time, the amount of XP brews is really freaking crazy. So I have constantly been going out of my way to find all the different chickens that I could potentially get. I wish that I had a higher rank clan right now, but it's understandable. I definitely bought these on my main account. That 4-star chicken and that 5-star chicken, super freaking helpful. These 2 stars, I don't know if they're worth, I don't know. Maybe, I guess that just depends on you and where you're at with your account, but definitely the 3 stars. And you can get them all over the place, right? All the events, there's another chicken there, there's another chicken right there, and that one's like the lowest tier one too. And not to mention when CVCs come around, we've got a 3-star chicken there, 3-star chicken there, another one there, 2 right there, 3 right there, and there's
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
9 3-star chickens that I didn't have to level, I didn't have to XP brew, I didn't have to campaign run, and a 4-star chicken. Allowed me, is basically what I'm trying to get at, is these chickens are going to allow me to get this 6-star champion because I just recently 6-starred Uugo, and so I thought it would be another while since I was able to 6-star a champion, but we're trying to blast through our Arbiter missions right now, doing a whole other video on that. That said, we're going to utilize these chickens as much as possible. I didn't have to farm as much foods as I would have needed to because we're going to utilize those chickens right freaking now. Okie dokie, my friend. Let's go ahead and get started. I think I'm gonna have to start from the bottom up and work my way through to evolve these 5 stars that I'm going to need for my next 6-star. Also, right now, because there's a CVC, it doesn't matter as much, but there is a champion training event going on right now. And while I usually like to save on resources as much as possible and really go in on these type of events, if there is like a fusion going on or a CVC personal rewards event going on, none of which is going on right now, by the way, I still want to do this right now. And the reason why is because of this freaking Arbiter mission. So we're going to go ahead and not only are we going to level up and rank up all of these food champs so that we can get our 6-star, but we're also going to add in some XP brews here and there so that we can get that epic tome that I just saw and maybe some of the other great rewards too. Oh, I hate it. I hate that this instant rank up does this, that it pulls champions that I've leveled up. Obviously, I'm trying to level those up to level 20, so why would I want to feed them? But at the same time, it kind of makes sense. See, I have all these other champions that I could have pulled. But it kind of makes sense because if I were to, let's say, take this 3-star champion and I leveled it or ranked it up, I do want to add a little bit of XP brews to it so that I can get a few more points with that champion training event, like I mentioned. And I don't want to do too much because I'm very limited on this new account. So it does kind of make sense when you go to like auto upgrade, how it, you know, uses champions that already have levels on them. But I wish that there was a filter that I can go in and say, don't use champions that have levels, or use champions that have a level up to a certain point, if that makes sense. I'm probably overcomplicating it, to be perfectly honest with you. Tons of videos, I've done it myself as well, talking about, you know, how to really optimize for champion training events. There's some people who will tell you to do, I don't know, some people will do like 3 or 4 XP brews. Again, and I've done a whole video on this, but it really just comes down to where your account is and how much you need to progress and what events are going on. It really just comes down to your account, where you're at. So for me, for example, this is a perfect example because on my main account, I'd just be brewing up all these guys like crazy so that I can get as many points as possible if it was an event that I was interested in. However, on this account, because I'm very limited on resources, I am going to just do a little bit and nothing crazy. And I'm only going to do like a 4-star. I'm just going to do 2 brews and 1 1-star champion. And these are all going to be food. Hopefully that was clear. I just thought I'd throw that out. But I want to get, just a little, I just want to squeeze out a few more points here for that champion training. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's just go with what we've got. All right, 4-star, boom, 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 boom. Lovely. I will level you up because you give me a lot. For 5-star champions, I'm going to give it 3 brews and 1 1-star. It brings me to level 10. I need more little food champs, so I'm going to do this. Do you hear my clicking? I'm impatient. I'm really nervous. I keep on like double checking myself because I'm really nervous that since I'm recording, I'm going to accidentally feed a champion that I don't want to feed. Yes, those are, I got nervous. One more 4-star. Look at that. Good math. Good math. I did good. Here we go. And we had to use our chickens. I recommend saving chickens because you never know when there's a champion training event that you're going to need them for. You never know if there's champion training tournament that you have the potential of ranking in and getting relentless gear. Now we have to decide who we're going to 6-star next. We have 2 champions. Very first 6-star was Kale. Second 6-star was Uugo. We've got a damage dealer. We've got support. We've got a reviver / healer for Uugo. And then we have to decide. I'm torn between Alice, Apothecary. I think Apothecary actually does pretty well as a 5-star, so never mind, ignore him. Supreme Gallic can be a lot of fun, but he's doing pretty okay at 5 stars as well. Rector Drath, if I could get her to 60 and then I could build her out like super strong, this girl not gonna die. She gonna stay alive, and she's gonna be nice and healthy, and she's just gonna keep healing everybody else. Venomage, I love. I'm so excited we got a Venomage. She could help us a ton in dungeons. There's even an opportunity where if I build her right, I can use her for clan boss. Clan boss right now, we definitely need some help with. So we're having to weigh the options here, and I've already done all of that, trying to decide who we're going to 6-star next. I just wanted to show them for you here so that you can see who I'm going to decide to 6-star next and why. Based on the needs of my account currently, one of the biggest areas I really need to improve on is Demon Lord. So I think I'm going to do the Venomade. And I'm not just doing it for the Demon Lord. That's like the main goal right now, is to improve our Demon Lord clan boss team. But she can also be very helpful in Fire Knight, in Dragon. She can be very helpful in, not great for Arena, but there are specific areas that I really need to improve on that she will do well for. Plus we already got a bunch of 16 leveled artifacts for her. Again, I was so torn. Alice would be so much fun 6-starred. So would Supreme Gallic. It would be so much fun. We also have a freaking Tagoar. Arbiter, we're probably going to use him for a while. Even though he's a freaking uncommon, and it kind of would be fun to play around with him as 6-star. I think we're doing a Venomage because she was just a really cool pull, and I just know all the different areas that she can really help us with that can make a difference. So I give you permission right now to beat me up in the comments if you feel that I made a mistake and messed up. But here's the thing, trust me, quite a few of you have commented before and totally called me out on my BS on things that I super messed up on. And I own up to them, and I'm totally okay with that. I actually enjoy it because it helps me get better and improve. But in this case, I just don't think that there was like a for sure pick. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that there was one of these champions that I was like, yeah, absolutely 100%. There's no other champion that would be the best to 6-star for our 3rd 6-star champion on this new account. There were multiple different ones that would be really fantastic and a lot of fun to build out too. I'm probably going to rebuild her. She's a lot of fun. She's not like, I don't know if she's an S tier champion, but she's a lot of fun, and I'll be able to progress on this account. Oh goodness, I just need to, I need to work on her ascensions and booking her out. But thankfully she is a magic champion, and I have to go farm freaking 5 superior magic potions from the magic keep. I'm gonna have to get that done like ASAP because it's about to close soon, but I need to do that for an Arbiter mission anyway. So for me, it kind of worked out. I think that this was the right choice. Give you permission to yell at me in the comments. Hopefully you found this helpful, as well as that, I don't know, special angle of talking about how helpful chickens actually are and how many resources they actually allow us to save and progress. So I definitely think of chickens very differently now after doing this free-to-play account versus on my main account where I have, I don't know, a ton of them. I'm gonna continue on with these Arbiter missions. Thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate your time. Again, apologies if I was a little bit all over the place. It's been a long day. I hope you had an amazing freaking day, or if you're watching this in the morning, have an amazing freaking rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching. Keep killing it, and I'll see ya.